People all over the internet are saying XDefiant is dying, and I was one of them. But Papa Mark is here to set the record straight and silence the critics. Hey guys, Nightfall here, and I know a lot of you, including myself, are waiting anxiously for this top 500 leaderboard to get updated, and it may very well be updated by the time you see this, but that'll be tomorrow's video, because I want to be able to dedicate some actual time to it and really go through it to see just how bad it's gotten. Going through 500 names and trying to identify who's a Smurf can be tricky, and it's definitely time consuming. However, I still wanted to talk about something today because I came across a tweet, or rather reply, from Mark stating that the game is in fact not dying like most of us were led to believe. At first, there were signs in-game and elsewhere that the game was losing traction. Streamers and creators started leaving for other games, namely Black Ops 6 Beta and some others. Matchmaking times increased day by day, and then the article from Tom Henderson, which I'm sure most of you have heard about by now and are probably sick of hearing about. And since that article came out, the closest thing we've had to any semblance of a response from anyone representing the game was the daily login rewards, which, by the way, if you haven't yet logged in today to claim those, this is your reminder to go and do that. Yesterday, I actually didn't get my rewards until I loaded up the game at like 10 p.m. Eastern time, and from what I was able to tell, we only got one of each type of booster, and they were only 20-minute boosters. So a little bit less than the 3 of each that I expected to get. But getting back on topic here, that was as close to a response as we got, and it seemed like a desperate cry for help at the time. We won't fully know until the end of Season 2 if this same type of end-of-season celebration returns, but the reply from Mark that was aimed at someone asking if there were bots being put in the games, which, let's pause right there for a moment. I don't know about you all, but I never once thought there were bots in the lobbies, like actual bots, not your typical casual player going 8 and 25, who you call a bot, but like real bots. But do you know what game for sure has bots in it? Fortnite. Do you think Fortnite is dying or can't maintain enough players to the point that they put bots in their lobbies? Absolutely not. But back to the tweet, he wants everyone to remember that this is not a sprint, it's a marathon, which is a fair point, but we're about 4 months post-launch and we're still missing basic features and things we were promised, and things are still broken that should have been fixed. The rest of this tweet is just him explaining that the game is in a slow period due to it being the end of a season, and they're still hard at work fixing netcode and implementing progression, and they're here for the long haul. Now, taking that reply into account, a lot of things just don't add up, and I'm not referring to his reply. I'm referring back to the whole game's dying and has until Season 3 to bring players back. Despite recent news of Concord being shut down in record time, Ubisoft has never had that kind of track record, and if they did, Siege wouldn't be the game that it is today, because around the time of Operation Health, the game was very broken. And yeah, that seems like an oxymoron to say Operation Health game is broken, but that's the whole meme. For those that don't know, Rainbow Six Siege had tons of game-breaking bugs, among other issues that were just plaguing the game and the player base. A lot of players jumped ship during this time because it just wasn't great. So instead of releasing new content and new operators like they had previously done in seasons past, they dedicated an entire season to fixing the game and called it Operation Health. With today's instant gratification generation of gamers, this was a disaster, as most can imagine. Not having new content and so many bugs caused players to either stop playing the game or only log on every now and again, and player counts declined rapidly. But guess what? In the end, it seemed to be beneficial because things got back on track shortly after that, and look how Siege turned out since then. They actually just launched Season 3 of Year 9 yesterday, so I'd say it's going pretty good. Then when you stop and think about it, this game is literally free advertising for all of the other Ubisoft IPs. How many of you have checked out games like Far Cry or The Division either again or for the first time since seeing them in this game? And this will go for any other factions they bring in from already existing games in their catalog. It's like working from home saves you money on gas and wear and tear on your car. This game is providing additional traffic to your other games, almost like a passive income situation. Why would Ubisoft in their right mind pull the plug after not even a year? With the release of all these other games right now, like Star Wars Outlaws and the new Assassin's Creed they have coming out, it seems they didn't put all of their eggs in one basket, which is usually a smart business move, but with their stock on the decline, did they maybe spread resources a little too thin? Personally, I think we need a full year of XDefiant to accurately gauge the direction of this game, so pulling the plug at the end of Season 3 is a little premature for me. Anyone can post an article and say, oh, my sources are anonymous sources, but they work closely with the development team, or they work here, or they're sources directly from Ubisoft, because you can't fact check that. How does one fact check an anonymous source? You can't. And yes, I do understand the same guy has posted numerous other articles and leaks about previous games and other situations that turned out to be true, but he's also posted articles about stuff and leaks about games that turned out to not be true. Sure, he's got more that ended up being right than wrong, but I feel like everything needs to be taken with a grain of salt here, considering the situation. And if this article does turn out to be some sort of clickbait, then it's going to make a lot of people look a lot of stupid. So until someone addresses this directly, or sources are revealed and people can ask them straight to their face, I'm going to sit here and have faith that Mark and his team, well, most of his team, know what they're doing and can get this game on the right track. But in the event this game does severely fall off and even die out completely, let me know in the comments what other games you'd like to see on the channel. I already play other games off stream and outside of making these videos like Rainbow Six Siege and Apex, but interested to know what you would be most interested in seeing here on the channel. In the meantime, while XDefiant is still alive or somewhat alive, there's a couple ideas that I have for some more videos. Two that I want to discuss here. The first one I've already started, but I kind of haven't pushed it a whole lot. So if you're not already in my Discord, make sure to join on my Discord or follow me on Twitter. And when you have some awesome clips, send them to me or tag me in them on Twitter, because I think it'd be really fun to make an entire reaction video out of watching your guys' amazing clips, all in an effort to hashtag save XDefiant, of course. The second thing is there's a content creator for another game that I've been watching for quite some time, and they have a series called Mailbag, where their followers just ask them questions about the game, and there's really no limit on what kind of questions you can ask. I'll answer whatever based on the information that I have and stuff that I've heard, but I think it'd be super cool, depending on how many questions we get, to make one of those videos per week, just as a end of week wrap up kind of thing. And I think the best place to capture those questions is going to be either in Discord or a community post right here on my channel. So I'll be posting it in both. So if you're already in the Discord, make sure to look out for a new channel popping up. And if you're not following on Discord, feel free to join, or if you don't have Discord or just don't want to join for whatever reason, keep an eye out for the community tab to have that post thrown in there. But anyway, don't forget, I'll be live this Friday at my usual place and usual time, 8 p.m. Eastern time, right here. And then our charity stream will be the following day, Saturday, September 14th, starting at 1 p.m. Eastern time. Make sure you come hang out, have some fun, donate to a great charity, and maybe even win some stuff. And until then, I'll catch you in the next one.